People ask me what makes me so passionate about helping the small business owner. Well, the whole passion started a long time ago. But just to give you a little background, I'm just a regular guy. As you can probably tell by this video, I'm not slick with technical production either. I'm just a regular guy. I've lived a pretty unorthodox life. As a kid, I was a Navy brat. I was born in San Francisco. I was a commodity trader. I was a black belt karate instructor. Got to work out with Chuck Norris once before he became a movie star. Was a child evangelist. Went on a couple 40-day fasts. I took a year off once and traveled to 147 national parks around North America. So yeah, I've definitely lived a non-linear life. But one of the things I noticed growing up was that everything I touched seemed to work. I was either very lucky or I don't know what it was, but I never, ever faced failure. Everything I ever did worked. And so I was very positive about whatever I did, and I always believed in whatever I did. In 1988, I started a company with $3,000, and it quickly grew to over $5 million. And it was great. I owned the company outright. It was a great feeling. I love the success. Because of the nature of the business, I was able to travel the world because I was an importer. And so I got to go to all the countries I was importing from. I was able to come home to a beautiful place in San Francisco. I had a whole bunch of friends. People liked me. It was cool. Then in the early 90s, things began to change in my industry. There's a huge shift. Like I mentioned earlier, my company imported chemicals, phosphates, primarily a chemical called sodium tripolyphosphate. And sodium tripolyphosphate used to be the major chemical that was in your laundry detergent. And that's why you would have these big boxes of Tide in the olden days, and now you have little tiny ones today, because they switched from sodium tripolyphosphate to a chemical called zeolites. Well, and I was a major importer of sodium tripolyphosphate, so I lost a lot of my tonnage that I was importing. My sales declined, but my expenses didn't. And if you know anything about business, things don't change overnight anyway. Everything takes time in business. Going up takes time. Going down takes time. So my business started to head south, but it did it slowly. It wasn't a really quick thing. I started trying everything I could to turn it around. I did everything. Nothing worked for me. And after a while, I started to get nervous. I started to get irritable. I started to get scared. And then I started to become frantic. And what made this really tough is I didn't dare talk to the vendors because you don't want to scare the people supplying you products because they'll cut you off. I didn't want to talk to the customers because you don't want to scare them. I didn't want to talk to the employees because you didn't want to scare them. And I couldn't afford big-time consultants. So what I did do is I talked to a psychiatrist because I was getting kind of stressed out then. But the thing about psychiatrists is that or psychologists as well, is they focus on the past. And they really don't give advice. They just listen to you, you know. It's like talking to a wall, except you give them money. I talked to my lawyer. He's a lovely guy, great guy, really smart guy, but he couldn't give me any specific advice or brainstorm with me how to turn my business around. I talked to my accountant. My accountant was really good with my books and really good at trying to help me get out of taxes, but he just didn't have the background in how to turn my business around. And then I also talked to friends, but again, there was nothing they could do for me. Everybody seemed to feel bad for me, but there was nothing they could do to help. I was surrounded by well-intentioned people, but no one could help me. And then I started to feel overwhelmed. It really started to get to me. My behavior started to change. And if you look at this chart here of stress and anxiety, how it affects you, if you look at this, the only thing I didn't feel was headaches. I didn't get headaches, but by golly, all the rest of this started to creep up on my behavior. But what really makes this weird is I had to keep my happy face on. I had to be the face of positivity to everyone around me, everyone I talked to, everyone I saw. I couldn't scare anybody. But inside, I was dying. It was killing me. And I was lonely because there was nobody to talk to. There was nobody that could understand what I was going through. And in fact, at one point, this is a picture of Levi Plaza in San Francisco. At one point, I went down to Levi Plaza at lunchtime when there was tons of people walking around. And I was spinning out so badly inside that I went and hugged one of these trees. I hugged it with my expensive Italian suit on, but I didn't care because I needed to feel like I was still part of the earth, that I was grounded somehow. And it was one of the most memorable times of my life because for me to have gone to a place that was so difficult that I had to hold on to a tree to feel like I wouldn't lose myself was a big deal. And then finally and this went on for months. This didn't happen overnight. This went on for a long time. I finally crashed. There was nothing left of me. I was exhausted. I was spent. My company was still viable, but I wasn't. My employees had faith in me. They had more faith in me than I had in myself. They wanted to keep the business going. They wanted to make a run at it, to do whatever we had to do. But I had lost whatever energy and will I had. I couldn't fight anymore. So in 1994, I closed my office and I fell into a really deep and dark depression. I didn't know who I was without my successful businessman persona. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was without money. I didn't know who I was without success. I was so ashamed that I wanted to change my name. I actually thought of changing my name to become someone else. But during that time, during those months of darkness, and thankfully I had some money saved up, so I was able to live off of it. But I couldn't do anything. Emotionally, I was shot. But I made a promise to myself. I swore if I made it out of that depression, and honestly, I didn't know if I would make it out because my thoughts were jumbled jangled. I couldn't think or focus on anything for any length of time. It was really strange. But I swore if I made it out, I would become the one thing that I desperately needed during those dark times, and that would be a trusted advisor. That would be somebody that could understand what I was going through, somebody that could help, somebody that could brainstorm, somebody who was an entrepreneur themselves, somebody who had something that could have my back. So over the past 22 years, that's what I've done. I've recreated myself into a personal consultant coach for small business owners. And I've worked on all kinds of projects over the time, but I truly believe that if I could have kept my business open if I would have had a trusted advisor that was there for me. I really believe that. Now I don't regret it because what's happened to me now is even better. I mean, I've gotten to a point now where that was fine. I can let that go because now I can help other people that are going through similar situations and help them save their companies. So over the past 22 years, this is what I've learned. I've learned that business owners are by far the most important asset in any business. Don't believe it. If you're, as a business owner, if you think, well, my employees are, no, it's my machinery, it's a trademark, it's my vendors, it's my customers. No, you are, period. If you walk out, the business goes down. If you quit, the business quits. Any of those other things are replaceable. Any other one of those things are replaceable and you can survive, but it won't survive without you because you carry the purpose of the business. You carry why the business is in business, period. And because of their importance, business owners need to be protected, nurtured, and supported. Just like they do their employees, right? Same thing. And the other thing I've learned is business owners need a safe place to share their fears and their challenges and their dreams without judgment. So I hope that explains why I'm so passionate about helping the small business owner. If you own a business, find an advisor. Find one. Find someone who understands your business, who cares about you first and your business second. Find somebody. No one deserves not to have somebody to have their back. You deserve it just as much as any other organization. And just because you have an organization, a business, doesn't mean that you need to be in this alone. If you want to talk to me, click the button on the page here. Don't be nervous. Don't think you're weak for reaching out. Set up an appointment and we'll talk. You can call me. We can have a meeting even if you aren't having a crisis. If everything's going great, that's fine with me. Just know that all businesses will face a crisis, and actually, this is the time to contact me before the storm hits. There is absolutely no charge for our first meeting. Nothing. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm here to serve you. You can check for the prices. There's no secret. My prices are on this page, so you're gonna find out what I charge. But our first meeting is on me. And even if we don't start a business relationship, I want to try to help you as much as I can for the time we have on the phone. So, like I mentioned a second ago, check the other video on this page. It'll give you the prices and everything else you need to know. Make a decision to invest in yourself today. Do something. Don't continue to do what you've always done if things aren't working out for you or if you want to improve where you're at right now. But even if we don't meet and you don't connect with me, just know that I honor you as a business owner. I honor you as an entrepreneur. I pray for your continued success. And just know that there is someone out here that honors you, your dreams, and your effort. So keep it up. Keep up the good work. And God bless you.